Good evening and welcome to BJC Mitzvah Day, number 149, part 1, using the Sefer Hachinuch. A mitzvah day keeps your soul on its way, and we're on to a new mitzvah. And yes, I'm still in my RCR, rabbis can run swag after a little bit of a walk, exercise, getting back into it on President's Day. All right, so you'll forgive me, folks. Sometimes you got to change it up, you know? All right, here's the mitzvah in new book. Student Vayikra, but Parsha Shmini, the prohibition upon Kohanim, the priests, to enter the temple with overgrown hair. All right? Says the verse. Moses said to Aaron and to his sons Elazar and Itamar, do not let your heads become overgrown with hair, and do not rend your garments, that you do not die, and he, Hashem, become wrathful with the entire assembly, and your brethren, the entire house of Israel, shall bewail the conflagration that Hashem ignited. After Aaron's sons, Nadav and Avihu, perished at the conclusion of the festive inauguration of the Mishkan, the tabernacle, Moses commanded Aaron and his surviving sons, Elazar and Itamar, to remain at the Mishkan, the tabernacle, and refrain from expressing signs of mourning. While the entire Jewish nation lamented the loss, Aaron, Elazar, and Itamar, who were the Kohanim engaged in the avoda, in the service, were enjoined not to let their hair become overgrown and not to rend their garments as signs of mourning. Normally that is signs of mourning. This scriptural phrase, do not let your heads become overgrown with hair, is understood not as a limited reference to that tragic situation, but as a general prohibition upon the Kohanim who perform avoda in the temple in all generations from allowing their hair to be overgrown. The next phrase, and do not rend your garments, likewise constitutes a general prohibition on the Kohanim who perform avoda, again, avoda means service, from wearing torn garments. That's going to be mitzvah number 150, separate mitzvah. The verse could be understood as prohibiting the Kohanim to have overgrown hair specifically at the time that they engage in the avoda. The Mishnah in Kalim, however, teaches that the Kohanim are forbidden even to enter the inner parts of the temple grounds with overgrown hair on their heads. The Chinuch will explain that this is included in the biblical prohibition, for it is part of the intention of the verse. The verse commands that the Kohanim shall not enter the temple with their hair grown long in the manner of mourners. That is to say, the Kohanim who serve in the temple and enter its grounds shall not grow their hair long even when they're not mourners. As it is stated, do not let your heads become overgrown with hair. The Chinuch cites sources that demonstrate that this expression, and again in the Hebrew, al tifra'u. Sometimes the transliteration is hard to read, so you got to see it in Hebrew. Al tifra'u, right, connotes not allowing one's hair to become overgrown. The phrase al tifra'u refers to an overgrowth of hair, as the Targum Onkelos to this verse renders, i.e., do not grow excessive hair. Likewise, the prophet Ezekiel clarified the meaning of this verse by stating regarding the Kohanim, nor shall they let their hair grow out. They shall keep their heads trimmed. Similarly, it is stated regarding the Metzora, his head shall be, again in the Hebrew, farua. And farua means overgrown with hair, as the sages stated in Sifra, in explanation of the verse, he shall let his hair grow long. It is further expressed in Sifra to the verse of this mitzvah, when the verse states regarding the Kohanim, your heads, al tifru, it means do not grow long hair. All right, we'll continue with this mitzvah, God willing, tomorrow. Thanks for listening to sponsor a future mitzvah. 36 100 the gold. Have a great day.